This is your daily briefing. You're most welcome to it. I keep forgetting, 2 million views so far. Thank you so much, you wonderful people. Likes and subscriptions help the algorithm. And if you tap on that bell thing, you'll never miss a video, which could possibly change your life for the better. There's a teaser at the end of this video, which, if you hang on in for it, I'll reveal my intentions, which may well align with your own. Could be good, he said himself. So, right, breaking story of the day, and my thanks indeed once again to Jack Adams. Produced some fantastic blogs, and this is a good example of where quantity is actually worthwhile. Yeah, very enjoyable. Thanks a million. Keep them coming. And if anybody else wants to contribute anything at any stage, I am your platform, your humble platform. The blog gets lots of views around this time of the year, about 500,000 a month, something like that. And you can see the numbers on here. So yeah, if you want to get in touch, email is in the description. So yeah, breaking news is very, very exciting on the face of it. A NASDAQ listed, I'm going to read it verbatim and then, I'll give you my no hold bars. A NASDAQ listed investment fund has failed in an attempt to buy Tottenham Hotspur Football Club at a valuation of $3 billion. LAMF Global Ventures, a Los Angeles-based special purpose acquisition company, SPAC, it's not April the 1st, is it? You can't say that anymore. That raised over $250 million in its dollars in its initial November public offering, is seeking to purchase an elite European football club this year. Chaired by Jeffrey Soros, the nephew of billionaire investor George Soros, LAMF is understood to identify its principal Premier League target as Tottenham Hotspur. Special advisor Keith Harris. Are you sure it isn't April the 1st? Ain't that, Doc? Do you remember? You want one for the dads. Special advisor Keith Harris pitched the SPAC's valuation of Tottenham in a recent meeting with the Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy, only for the proposal to be rebuffed. This is so badly written by the Daily Record that this is the 6th take. While Tottenham's majority owner Joe Lewis is understood to be prepared to entertain investment proposals, and recently Singaporean entrepreneur Forrest Lee was shown round the stadium by Daniel Levy, Daniel is opposed, it is thought, to the club relisting on a stock exchange, and this is where this kind of flattering offer has somewhat fallen to the ground. Acquisition of the club share capital by a SPAC, whether partial or complete, would require Tottenham to do so for the first time in 2012. A source familiar with the discussions told Record Sport it will be nothing to do with valuation and all about the fact that Spurs would have no interest in a SPAC. If they wanted to go public, they certainly wouldn't do it through an SPAC. Industry experts concur that an off-market takeover from a private individual or family office may be a more effective way of utilising the value created by Tottenham's £1 billion plus infrastructure investments. As LAMF's initial share offering was oversubscribed, the blank cheque company is confident of raising substantial capital with which to buy into European football. Harris, I hate that dog, who is described in the SPAC Securities and Exchange Commission registration statement as a leading advisor to UK clubs including Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur and Celtic, has initiated and advised in over 30 completed acquisitions of predominantly Premier League clubs in the UK and continental Europe, and has been charged with securing the acquisition target. And breathe. The only teensy problem that I have with this story, and it's nothing to do with Soros, it's nothing to do with, all that madness, that it appears to emanate from one Duncan Castles, who in less enlightened times would have resided in the Bedlam asylum. Maybe this is the first thing he ever gets right, in which case we have a crackerjack situation on our hands and one that we can then dive into and try and analyse and make sense of. So what we have here is the Daily Record breaking this story, which they've taken from Castle's podcast, which I think is called the Transfer Podcast or something similar. part of Reach PLC, which brings us back to the Daily Mirror, which is rubbish on football. The Daily Express, rubbish on football. The Daily Star, which if you Google the Daily Star, it actually says in their own description, Google page ranking 1, what's it called? The fun newspaper. So with them breaking news, I'll hold tight. And the reason I'm holding tight is not just because there's no grudge, there's no agenda. It's just this guy's continuously wrong. I think he's actually psychologically damaged. But Daniel Levy, if there's a shred of truth in this, okay, if there's a shred of truth in this, which there may be, could be, well, maybe, Daniel Levy gets pitched ideas every time he buys a bloody newspaper. So if you think of the fast pouring pint from the and all the rest of it, to the sort of light bulbs, well, he doesn't know all this stuff. Nobody knows all this stuff. Guys like him get pitched every single day of the week. So if this was a pitch that failed, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but if it isn't happening, how interesting is it really? So listen, if this story comes back via somebody credible and actually has some legs to it, opposed to somebody said, hey, do you want to sell for 3 billion, but we're going to have to put you on the stock market? No, I don't feel like it. If it goes beyond that point, then, I'll be drawn away from my sock drawer where I'll be currently matching up the odd ones. In other news, this is the comedy item that this is going to run and run. It has only taken about a week for Frank Lampard to come to the same conclusion as Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. In Frank's presser, about 2 minutes in, he said, we will need to work more. I need to find the right time to give him minutes. We can't expect an instant reaction for a player who before wasn't playing as much. For the short term, we need to manage the situation. Yeah. Dele Alli should have been the first man on the training pitches at Goodison and the last one off of them. Gaffer, I have sinned and I am seeking redemption. But no, we get a Rolls Royce and a Prada bomber jacket whilst he unveils a new haircut before the wildly applauding fans. He's more than a footballer, he's a complex and fascinating human being. Okay, so this is the bit you might have been waiting for, possibly. The campaign to ban the Y word. Now, let's just call it what it is. It's a ban, it's censorship. Is gathering momentum, and I promise to do my best to derail these plans. I'm preparing my defence of a word used contextually to show fraternal support, and my prosecution of those that seek to tell us what we're thinking and what we are allowed to say is underway. I've begun contacting a number of players on the censorship side of this war, so let's see if any of them are crazy enough to engage in a civilised video debate with me. I'm pretty furious with the entire business, and I'd like to lance this boil once and for all. I'll go into detail on the show. I don't know if I'm going to be joined by anybody, but I've been in touch with people in lots of different places, and we'll see what we shall see. And if I don't get any replies from anybody, I shall name them as saying no comment. So thanks very much. So we've got Wolves tomorrow, which is Sunday. And I think I'll treat you to another clip just before that game. Good luck. Keep it on them.